Hello, it's me again. My Facebook is sort of messing up, so I couldn't get back on. So I'm sorry if I am not currently on there because I was gonna see if say hi to my girlfriend and talk to her. Um, but here's the reason why I won't uh do allegiance to anyone. Because I did that one time about 15 years ago. I had a girlfriend, and I was like, I was 16. I was a dumb kid, and she was the same age as me. And of course, this was online, but I thought, oh, if I did allegiance to her, things would get better. It didn't get better. In fact, it got worse over time because she was really an abusive person. Little did I know she was doing drugs. So, and the thing was, every day she would treat me even worse, and she told me if I ever left, she would find me and kill me. But one day I was sort of just sitting by my computer, talking to my friends. I'm telling them the situation I'm in. They're like, "You need to leave her," and I did. And then a year later, I came back, and this happened for 2 years. And then even after I broke up with her, she kept finding me on uh, on websites or on chat, and she just and the only way I knew it was her is because she's the only person who would say, "How's my bitch doing?" And I knew exactly it was her. And I got away from her, but that was the worst regret I ever had, was pledging my allegiance to a girlfriend who, by the way, was abusive. It didn't start out that way, of course. I mean, it's just like all relationships. They don't always start out that way. Like, oh, you think you know somebody, and you think, oh, they love you, and they're never gonna hurt you, and every good thing's gonna happen. And of course, I was sitting there at my computer one day, and I had my rifle out, and well, I don't even want to say that because most people might think, but then again, I almost did. I almost killed myself in the process because I was trying to escape her because didn't think I could ever escape her. And one thing that kept me going over the years is my friends and my family, the ones who truly love me. And that's why I'm not going to pledge my allegiance to any friend on social media, because that is not right. You don't force people to do that. If you're a fan or a friend of someone, that should be good enough. If not, then sorry, but here's my resignation from being a fan or a friend, because I am not going to put myself through that again, because it didn't make anything better. It made it worse. And like I said before in my one video, I'm sick and tired of people treating me like I'm just a number. Like, oh, I need to add this person because he seems cool or she seems cool or whatever. I mean, if you don't know somebody on a personal level because you never had to ask them a question, and this is something I don't bring up often because the thing is, I got away from that. I got away, and I'm better now. And even though 15 years ago, I was not your average happy person, I was more angry. I hated every single person. I didn't care if I had friends. I didn't care if I had family. I just pretty much pushed everybody away. And now I've changed, and I had to change myself because honestly, I didn't like the person I was. And now that I'm a better person now than I was 15 years ago, I hope to stay that way. I hope people do not think that I or expect me to do something that I shouldn't have to do. I mean, I'm your friend and your fan, and I'm not trying to be negative or say that person's horrible, but you shouldn't do that. It's not right by any means to say you must pledge your allegiance to me and you must obey what I say or what I do. No. Um, and the thing is, everyone thinks they're king or queen. Stop that. Really, just stop that. That's bullshit. I wish people would stop doing that. Why not just treat everybody like a person instead of an object? Because honestly, when people do that, you tend to alienate other people into thinking you must do something, you must obey what I say, and no. Sorry, that's not right. and it's never going to be right. I mean, for one, we're not in a country where you select a king or a queen and then you have to bow down to them. And it's like this. I don't bow down to no single person. Not a single person that's alive today I will ever bow down or kiss their feet or kiss their ass or be the type of guy who's going to just give in to what everybody else is doing. Sorry, not going to happen. Just like my movies. I like certain horror movies. There's certain movies that I don't really care to watch, and people need to respect that. If I don't like something, don't hound me about it, don't bitch about it, and sure as hell don't send me negative comments that I'm not a horror fan, because I am a horror fan. I do like certain horror movies. I like slasher films in particular. I like monster movies. I like ghost movies. I like supernatural things. I don't care for, I mean, I'm glad they brought the gore back, but my God, sometimes I question, this is a little too much. And, I do like the older movies where they don't show you anything, and you have to use your imagination. Whatever happened to those days? Because it's just like I saw a movie with Robert Englund in it, called, oh God, I can't remember the name. I'm probably going to kick myself in the ass for not remembering the name, but I'll tell you something right now. His character even explains, my days, movies didn't show you anything. You had to use your imagination. So when you saw Frankenstein for the first time, I mean, you saw him, but then also when he would do something either violent against another character, you didn't really see it. You saw it in shadow. And that's pretty great when you think about it. Less is more and more is less. And now everything is becoming more and more, and it's like, really, what happened to, let's not just shock people by the pure brutality of these movies, but let's get them, what happened to suspense? That's my question. Whatever happened to that? Remember those days where you were waiting for something to happen, and then when it did, you were like, or you didn't expect it to happen, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God. Now everything's being replaced by jump scares, and sometimes even the worst CGI I've seen in years. I remember when Terminator 2 and Jurassic Park, those two movies actually use better CGI, and they still hold up today. You can actually see what it looks like. It has movement. It looks like it's heavy as hell, and it just looks really fantastic. Now you got these movies that are just coming out of the woodwork with no suspense, cheap jump scares, and just shock values. What happened to the good old days? I mean, 20 years ago, stuff like this would be cut because, it's like the ratings board thought every fan who ever watched a horror movie was completely stupid. Like, oh, they don't know the difference between fictional and reality. And then, thank God it changed, and the gore's back, but unfortunately, it's getting too much, and it's like, I don't care for it. Like, after watching Scar, that movie truly broke me. That was a torture movie. Now, Saw 1, now that movie, it is a torture movie, but in another sense, it's also a thriller. Like, figuring out who or why these people are in this room being hooked up to horrible devices that could rip your face off, that's cool. That was a good movie, and unfortunately, they just, after Saw 3, I was like, oh yay, they killed the main villain off. And when you do that, you end the movie right there. But unfortunately, they didn't. They kept making more, and I stopped watching after 3. If you're a fan of all Saw movies, I'm glad. I'm happy for you, because honestly, I wasn't. I thought, this is it. This should be the end of these movies. And, the thing about it is they kept making them, and then they did die. In fact, somebody did a video called The Top 10 Franchises That Should Die, but there's a lot of franchises that I know that should have died a long time ago, but they're still around. And the only reason, and people say, oh, it's because of money, it's cash grabbing, it's remaking, it's rebooting the damn series. And, the fact is, you get a little tired of that crap, because it's like, yeah, alright, you had nothing new to bring with this character, why are you making more of them? You should just kill them. Kill them off right now. Stop making the same damn movie. movies that I'm happy that get a franchise are still going on is Tremors. There's always something new to do with those movies. You could make a new monster, but a lot of people are like, "Oh, why did they change the graboid? Why did they change the ass blaster?" Because they can. And either you like it or you don't like that thought of making a new monster movie. But and then you got people out there that say, "Oh, bears are not dangerous." Yeah, they are. You ever seen a pissed off 12-foot grizzly bear coming at you? Yeah. I would say get the hell out of Dodge. Or if you see a baby bear, do not approach it. Even though they are cute and cuddly looking, the mother is always nearby, and she'll be very pissed off that you're messing with her children. And like I said, the reason why I do not accept allegiance to anybody or bow down to them is because that's just not what you do, even on social media. I don't care how famous you are. If you're a big name person, do you think your fans should bow down to you? No. You thank them for your support, and then you go on with your day. Now, everyone, have a good day, and I hopefully will be able to get back on Facebook. If I'm not able to, sorry, because for some reason Facebook's acting up, and I am getting tired of talking about the same subject every single time because somebody thinks they need to do that.